In Pattaya, Thailand, two young brothers enter a local internet cafe, sit down, and start playing their favorite video games. One of the boys was 13 years old, and the other had just turned 8. They played together, as they always did, losing themselves in their screens for hours, until one of the boys felt a tap on the shoulder. Next to them was a boy of their own age, a seemingly friendly stranger. The boy told them about a friend who lived nearby and owned a special computer, much better than the one they were using, with all the games they could ever dream of playing. It was an offer too tempting to refuse, and considering the boy seemed to be their age, they saw no danger signs and agreed to follow him. The brothers followed the boy to a series of nearby apartments, but instead of finding a super powerful computer or a friend, they found a diabolical creature in every sense of the word, a depraved soul that over time would become one of the worst monsters ever generated by the internet. In that moment, those two little brothers had just fallen into his trap. The story of Mr. Swirl is chilling because it's a series of injustices that don't end with the right punishment. It's the story of a predator who abused many children, challenged law enforcement for years, even mocking them, managing to avoid proper punishment. The victims remain powerless due to legal loopholes and international boundaries. It's a story that highlights the importance of states collaborating when there's a common purpose and enemy. Mr. Swirl has committed unforgivable acts, and yet, he's free and has rebuilt his life, escaping justice. The crime of these two children marked the beginning of a dark chapter, a hunt that would unfold globally, a cat-and-mouse game that would test the limits of police and human ingenuity. Mr. Swirl became more than just a name. He became a symbol of fear and mystery, an entity that would haunt the nightmares and investigations of many, an enigma shrouded in the shadows of the night in Pattaya. In the heart of an anonymous warehouse in Germany, investigators stumbled upon a hard drive holding dark and terrible secrets. Inside, they found a gruesome collection of digital images depicting all the abuses and depravities inflicted on innocent young victims. These images were a silent testimony to unspeakable acts, the starting point of an investigation that would involve investigative agencies worldwide. One detail immediately caught the eye of the police. The perpetrator of these crimes, bold and shameless, always appeared in the images, but his face was made unrecognizable by a spiral effect, as if daring the authorities to find him. It was as if he wanted to provoke anyone trying to unmask him, as if he already imagined they would find him, as if the authorities were playing his macabre game. This digital distortion initially seemed like an insurmountable obstacle, but instead became a crucial clue. Investigators, scrutinizing those distorted images, began to think that perhaps, right in that vortex of pixels, lay the key to revealing the predator's identity. The solution came too easily, almost trivially. Using common editing software, an investigator reversed the spiral effect. With a simple click, the monster's face was revealed, and the image would soon bounce on screens and newspapers worldwide. This sparked an international manhunt, a race against time to catch this criminal before he could harm again. And it was in Thailand, far from where his hunt began in Germany, that the monster was finally captured. In a remote corner of the world, far from the places he terrorized with his crimes, justice managed to put an end to his freedom, closing a dark chapter that crossed oceans and continents. Christopher Paul Neal, known in the shadowy digital world as Mr. Swirl, was a mystery wrapped in codes and pixels. His story unfolded through the private networks of the internet, but the relentless pursuit highlighted the cunning and determination of law enforcement in tracking down and capturing such an elusive and dangerous foe. The saga of Mr. Swirl was not simply a matter of pursuit and capture. It was a story intertwined with the complexities of the law, leaving behind a trail of indelible scars and unanswered questions for the families of the young victims. Each chapter of this disturbing saga, from his initial capture to his return to criminal depths and the controversies over his sentences, revealed more and more of the dark side of human nature. The figure of Mr. Swirl became a symbol of the shadows lurking in the human soul. His story is a constant reminder of the battles that continue to be fought against the dangers that lurk in the most remote and inaccessible corners of the internet and society.